Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Now, shared on the internet has been many videos about Gen Z childhood creepy videos, also known as videos that circled around in like the early 2010s, which freaked out a lot of us generation as kids. I was watching one of these and I realized, there's a lot of weird stuff that freaked me out as a kid on the internet. So today I'm going to be going over some of the stuff that personally scared me on the internet when I was a small child. Don't hug me, I'm scared. This is a classic series of videos, which I'm actually still very interested in even now. It's a series of videos that started in 2011 but only finished in 2016. They start off as fake kids videos with puppets, but then they start to get really creepy and gory. Now I'm gonna bet that you've seen these as kids because they were massively popular. Even though some of them were pretty creepy, I still actually really liked them as a kid. But the one that freaked me out the most was the fifth one, which was honestly traumatizing. And if you've seen it, then I think you know why. But yeah, if you want more information on the series as a whole, check out this video by coffeebot explaining a big iceberg about it. It's 1990 shower scene. Now, when I was about 10 or 11, I was absolutely obsessed with it. Specifically the 2017 version when it first came out. But a couple of years before that, I watched a couple of scenes from the old 1990 miniseries, and there was one scene that stuck with me. And honestly, it might not be the scene you're expecting. It's not the infamous drain scene with Georgie. It's actually the shower scene with Eddie, where Pennywise comes up through the drain. I'm not sure why, maybe it's just because I hated his facial expressions in this clip. Although, I mean, his facial expressions were never exactly comforting. But for some reason, it was always this specific scene. Sand people. Now, growing up, I loved Star Wars, of course. Who didn't? But for some reason, when I was little, I used to absolutely hate the sand people. I guess I just thought they were gross. I mean, oh jeez. I just thought they were extremely creepy, and I hated the noises they made, I guess. And there was one scene in A New Hope that I just hated because of the jump scare. Poltergeist 2015. Now, I never saw either the original Poltergeist or the 2015 remake, but I do specifically remember the remake coming out, and I remember watching the trailers for it and being absolutely horrified. But at the same time, I was kind of fascinated and almost wanted to watch it, but would also be terrified if I did. I think something that I've noticed is that when I was like way younger, I was absolutely horrified of like creepy clown movies. Like, I didn't mind them in real life obviously, but if there was ever a horror movie with a clown, it would just freak me out. But then like a couple of years later when I was like 9 and 10, I thought horror clowns were like the coolest thing ever. I mean, probably because there was that whole trend in like 2016 where people would like break into places dressed as clowns. Oh, I remember that very vividly. Okay, you're gonna laugh at me for this one, but Five Nights at Treasure Island menu jump scare. Looking back, this one is just kind of hilarious, but in the bootleg Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, Five Nights at Treasure Island, which was a Mickey Mouse themed Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff, and if you stay on the menu for like a minute or 2 minutes or so, then this Mickey 3D model would turn photo negative, gain red eyes, and then jump scare you. And this was the most horrifying thing to me, apparently. On the topic of Five Nights at Freddy's fan games, Five Nights at Candy's 3. The actual Five Nights at Freddy's series never scared me that much, I just really liked it. But the biggest fan game was definitely Five Nights at Candy's, and the third game, which was very inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's 4, used to really creep me out. I don't know, I guess the rat just kind of looked ugly, I guess. The Child Capturer. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is a classic movie, and really, this doesn't belong in the Gen Z category. I think this should be classed as boomer childhood trauma. I mean, the movie came out in 1968. I just remember my parents showing me Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and the Child Capturer was just absolutely horrifying. And I mean, I'm not alone on that. I mean, a lot of kids were terrified of that when they saw it, but not typically my generation, so that's a bit peculiar, I guess. But I mean, it's mostly like our parents who were freaked out by the Child Capturer, to be honest. Oh geez, these next are gonna bring back some trauma. Smile Dog. Now, I used to listen to some creepypastas online, and yeah, they were mostly very goofy, and even watching them as like a 9-year-old I still found them kind of funny and goofy sometimes. Like, so I was never scared of Sonic.exe, but Smile Dog, and definitely the one that's next on the list, were definitely ones that freaked me out quite a bit as a kid. I don't really remember anything about Smile Dog, to be perfectly honest. I think I was just like half paying attention while listening to it, which, by the way, I used to listen to these on Mr. Creepypasta. But from what I remember about Smile Dog, I'm pretty sure it was just about a wild dog with a smile. Honestly, I don't remember. I think there was something about like a weird video virus DVD, maybe? I don't know. But the main creepypasta that freaked me out was Laughing Jack. Now this was my main source of childhood trauma right here. And actually, when I went back to make this video because I was curious, I went back to the video again by Mr. Creepypasta, only to see that I had left a dislike on the video, which I thought was just kind of funny. A little time capsule there from when I was 9. The story of Laughing Jack is about a dad who, his child is has a bit of a imaginary friend, if you will. This imaginary friend is called Laughing Jack, a jester thing with a cone nose who kills people. Yeah, this one freaked me out. And finally, my personal favourite on this list, although not being the most scary one, Happy Wheels Drugs. Man, this one brings back a lot of nostalgia. So on the Happy Wheels main levels, I guess, the ones that automatically come in the package, if you scroll down far enough, you'll see a level called Drugs, or at least you did in 2013, you might not now. In this level, you'd play as the dad and the son on the bike, and the dad would take drugs and you'd be transported to a weird mushroom land. Why is this so scary, you may say? Well, you randomly get jump scared by an evil clown, and looking back, I just find it kind of hilarious how scared I was of this. And actually, coffeebot, who made the video on the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared iceberg, was the one to discover it with me.
Yeah, that was certainly something. That clown guy still haunts me to this day. Ugh.
So, those are the things on the internet that creeped me out as a kid. Let me know if any of these freaked you out as well, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.